Welcome back to absmolds.com. In this video, I'll show you how to set up the Kingswell Fountain Mold from start to finish. We'll start by installing the tubing and applying the release agent to the molds. Then I'll show you how to mix and pour concrete, how to demold the finished pieces, and finally, how to install the pump, connecting the tubing and adjusting the water flow through the fountain. Let's get started. Okay, this is a video on what size pipes to use for the Kingswell Fountain. When you get your mold, you're going to have two holes. You're going to have one hole at the mouth here, and then you're going to have one hole at the bottom. What you're going to use is this poly pipe. This is a 3/8, which will fit in that 3/8 hole. So what we do is we'll feed the poly pipe through the bottom and then up into the mouth. So I'll have a piece like that, and then we'll take and cut this piece here. Then we're going to use this next size pipe. We're only going to use a small little piece of it. This is outside diameter is half and the inside is 3/8, so that 3/8 pipe will fit in there. So we'll just use a small little piece of this, and then we'll cut our 3/8 pipe about right there. And what this is going to do is serve as a breakaway. So when our concrete sets up and dries and we pull the pipe, we're not going to be fighting to pull this whole pipe out. This will break away. So we'll just grab from the bottom here and then pull it out, and then you can pull your concrete out. And that's basically it. Okay, pour in the Kingswell Fountain concrete mold. We need to oil this up before we pour it with concrete. We've already got our pipe in, so I'm just using motor oil 520. Got it in a little pan here, sponge, and we're going to coat this. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the water hose to this. I'm gonna put it on the shower mode, and see, we got puddles of oil there. We just want to spray it out. So let me go ahead and do that. Okay, we oiled up the molds and we sprayed it out with a water hose to get out the puddles of oil in there. So you want to do this process right when you're ready to pour it. You don't want to let these molds dry out and then pour it. So as soon as you got it sprayed out, you're ready to pour it. We'll mix the concrete. This is basically my main mix, is ready mix bags, and for each 60-pound bag I use a scoop of Portland, which this scoop is 8 cups, and I get really good results. So we'll go ahead and mix this up.
And for this, you want your mix not too thick and not too thin. The more thin it is, the weaker the concrete, you'll have a problem with breaking. So it's a fine line with the water. Okay, you want your mix about like that, maybe a little bit soupier, but I'm gonna make this strong. I'm gonna give you a pro tip. I use this Buddy Rhodes water reducer 310 powder. So right now it's a little thick, but I don't really want to add more water because you start weakening the concrete. So this is optional. You could just add a little bit more water to that, but if you use this here, I use about a spoonful, sprinkle it in, and what it'll do is it'll look like, once we mix this up, it's going to look like you added more water to it, but you didn't. It'll give it a nice flow. See, it's kind of thick right now. Okay, and you can see the difference that made. It looked like we added a bunch of water to it, but this is perfect. So now what we're going to do, it only takes one of these 60-pound bags to fill each of these molds. Give it a few shakes, and if your table ain't level, you can use some wood shims to level everything out. But that's one bucket, one 60-pound bag with the Portland, and we'll mix up another one and pour our topper. Yeah, it's a little too thick. We need to add a little bit more water. You'll get the hang of it. Okay. Now, if you're not using the water reducer, you can add just a hair, a little bit more water to get it a little bit more fluid. But we're gonna go ahead and use this. Okay, and you can see what this does to it. That's perfect. You can see how more fluid it made that concrete mix. We'll get a nice piece out of this. Now, you don't have to use the water reducer. You can just add a tad bit more water to get a good result, but you don't want to add too much. But the water reducer helps a lot. You get nice strong pieces without adding the water. And again, that was one 60-pound bag. Got our pipe sticking a little too high up. Here. Okay, you just want to give these a few shakes. And this one I'm going to have to, you can see it's going down a little bit. I'll just use a little wedge here to wedge this out. Okay, you want to pour them like that, and we'll let these sit 24 hours and we'll come back and pull the pipe and show you how it comes out. Okay, I'm going to show you how to demold the Kingswell concrete fountain mold. We've poured this, it's been sitting 24 hours. The pipe has been left in, so now we'll just pull from the bottom, pipe comes out, that other piece stays in there. Okay, there's our topper. And then you can cut this back and just use little pieces of copper tubing to shove in that hole that will fit the 3/8, and you can bend it to get your water just right. But that's how you pull the top piece. Now the bottom bowl, I didn't put too much draft on it, so you're gonna use some sticks just to wedge it up a little bit. Put the sticks that way. Just be patient with it, it'll come out. So I had the sticks there, it comes out a little bit easier that way. And that's the fountain bowl. Now it only takes 2 60-pound bags of concrete to make this fountain. I just pulled out another one. That's what it looks like with the topper on it. But high profits in this concrete mold. Take the poly pipe back a little bit, just trim it up real nice around the end of the mouth, and then you'll get you some copper tubing and you'll just insert it in there, and this is where you'll do the adjusting to get the water flow to go right. As far as hooking up the pump, you could pick up these little 2-packs pumps. They say they're 160 gallon per hour, little small pumps. You can pick up a 2-pack on Amazon pretty cheap. But you'll take a piece of that 3/8 hose that we pulled out, about that long. You'll need to heat it up a little bit to get it to go around the little nipple here. And once you got that, then you just take this and shove it up in that hole in the bottom of this piece here, and then your pump is set up and ready to go. Show you here. This is the mold, but you get the idea. It just goes in there like that. And that's how you hook up the pump. And remember, this pump has an adjustment. I found that I've had to keep it wide open. You can control the flow there. This is the Kingswell Fountain from absmolds.com. This is what the concrete molds produce.